Little bits.
Okay,
Little bits.
So I went to it's not McDonald's, but I went to Sonic yesterday for lunch, and I was like, I just want it's so much easier to just. But I wanted a cheeseburger, and it's so much easier to say like just get it to me plain than being like I don't want lettuce, I don't want tomato, I don't want mayonnaise. It's just easier to say plain. So I'm like, I would just like a plain cheeseburger and some tater tots and a Coke. And they're like, okay. So she repeated it back to me, plain cheeseburger, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, yes. So I get my food, I pay and everything. And I'm on my way to work. And I get to work and I didn't actually get to eat until about an hour later. And tots were great. Tots are perfect. Coke was great. I opened my burger and something doesn't feel right. It's too thick. Like there's something not right. So I open it.
Thick burger.
And it
was
is
a
meat,
dead
cheese,
rat.
bun.
Oh.
Which is what I wanted.
Oh, Brian, that's.
So yeah, it was everything that I asked for, except there was just a pile of shredded lettuce. And I am of the opinion that shredded lettuce does not really go on anything because it's watery, it's gross, it makes everything taste like lettuce.
Yeah.
It's room temperature ice is all it is. It's just a water container.
It's water leaf.
It's crunchy water.
I like lettuce.
I wouldn't have mind. I like lettuce too, but I'm just not.
I like romaine lettuce. Fight me.
Romaine is okay. Spinach is better.
I wouldn't have minded if it was like a sheet of lettuce, but it was like shredded lettuce. So I'm sitting there in front of my kindergarten and first graders, like scraping off with a spoon because we can't have forks. Scraping off with a spoon, like little minuscule pieces of shredded lettuce, and I'm like trying to cover up the taste of crunchy water with ketchup.
Why can't you have a fork?
The
kids will stab each other.
Wait! Are you telling me that Obama's not allowing forks inside of kindergarten classes now?
You say that in that accent, but that's actually a fucking Jesus. Why did I grow up here?
Yeah, I'm doing my best Alex Jones impression.
So we're allowed to have like the older kids, like the preschoolers and the pre-K classes and like the kindergarten classes and stuff. We have forks sometimes because it's just easier than having spoons and forks. But I just didn't grab a fork. I grabbed a spoon. But because the lettuce was on top of the cheese and it melted, I was like scraping all the cheese off, and I was very sad.
Oh no!
Remember the time I went to Taco Bell and I got plain food and they gave it to me covered in stuff that could kill me?
Yeah. We did that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
When we were making fun of Brian because he got his wisdom teeth pulled.
Yep.
I should have never done that.
My little forte into ASMR.
Wait, what happened afterwards, Brian?
I died.
You died?
No.
He was
the last man on Earth.
The day after I got the wisdom teeth pulled, I sneezed really hard all of a sudden, and I still have how there's supposed to be like a blood clot, and it's supposed to like heal over that.
Mm-hmm.
It slipped halfway out, and it's still kind of halfway dangling, like to this day.
You should pull on it.
I should not pull on it.
Hold on, guys. I gotta ask my wife something. Hold on. I'll be right back.
He's gonna ask if you should pull it.
He's gonna ask if he can pull it.
Bop it. Twist it.
Hey, can I have permission, Kat, to put your story in as the intermission?
My Sonic story?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was an intermission.
Okay, cool, because I've been recording this whole time, and now I'm gonna hit stop.
Cool.
Bye.
Welcome back. You're listening to the calming sounds of the Tidepool Orchestra. Side B.
We're not recording yet.
Joke's on you, Mike. We just started. Hello and welcome back to Side B of episode 16 of the Tidepool Orchestra. We're going to talk about Tumblr.
Is it too late to quit the podcast?
No. And in fact, it's also not too late to be fired from the podcast. I am Brian, and I hold all the power. Ha ha ha.
Technically, you're not wrong. It's your
Joke's on you.
podcast.
Joke's on you. I am wrong because I'm too goddamn lazy and I don't know how to work any of this shit. I know how to hit a record button, and that's about it.
Damn.
Oh, unfortunate. Well, I guess I'm never leaving then, bitch.
Cool.
Mm.
We're gonna stop loving you, bitch.
So on December 17th, Tumblr is going to put a ban on all NSFW that's not safe for work, blogs, and posts.
And blog posts.
Do not approve. Do not approve.
Have you guys?
I know you don't approve.
Have you guys read the official statements?
No.
I don't think so.
Among the other explanation of what's happening, Tumblr stated that some of the things that are being banned are, quote, female presenting nipples, unquote, and things that are okay to post despite being of possible nude or sexual content includes it's okay to post, quote, male presenting nipples, end quote.
So for me, because I'm always presenting nipples.
Why though? Why are they making the difference there? Because Tumblr is
it's literally Tumblr.
It's characteristically its community, its fan base is characteristically left, which would be all about free the nipple. So why are they banning female presenting nipples? I understand banning just like flat out porn. Like I'm not for that, but I understand it. I don't understand banning female presenting nipples.
What about a male presenting a female nipple?
Male presenting a female nipple? Like what, on a platter? That's gross.
No, like holding it.
I was drunk when I read it at first, and I thought it was male, like MAIL. I was very concerned.
I got some nipples in the mail.
I got some presents in the mail. It's nipples. They also said that it's okay to post female presenting nipples in the act of breastfeeding.
Of breastfeeding. What about like a work of art, like a statue, like Venus de Milo?
Venus de Milo,
banned.
Not okay. Michelangelo's David, not okay.
No dick.
Michelangelo's David from the waist up, A-okay. Because it has male presenting nipples.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of mad about it because that's where I go for like.
Say the word.
Stuff.
Say the word. You kindergartner teacher. You say the word.
No. Don't.
Anyway, so a lot of people are. Yeah.
We're not going to talk over cat over this episode.
Cool. Hey. No, I mean I've been on Tumblr for about 10 years, and I think it's only been like a website, saying about 15. But no, I mean that's just kind of where I go for like all kinds of things. I mean I have different blogs for different purposes, and
one of those blogs is for things.
Yeah, one of those.
Furry art is banned.
No.
Furries stay outside.
All right, I guess I'll just have to stick to e621.net.
Wait.
Furries keep moving. This is a normies man neighborhood.
Furries go to the bathroom outside.
Well, yeah, we're animals. Fuck you.
Weird.
I just don't like it. I wish they'd. I mean, I think it's because
I just don't like furries. I wish they would stop.
She's a furry.
Oh no.
I am a furry. Hold on.
How does this keep happening?
Oh no.
Well, you have one of them, and then it attracts another, and another, and
I have an important question, Brian.
I'm not a furry.
Is it too late to quit the podcast?
I am also wondering if it's too late to quit the podcast. I think I'm going to quit because it's accidentally turned into a furry cast. I don't like that.
That's cool. I'll take the lead. I'll present full fursuit. I'll have to buy one first, but
you can only present nipples. We've discussed this.
Sorry,
what if
Kent.
my
I
persona is
interrupted.
female?
So anyway, we were going to
the,
talk
the only
about.
reason they're really doing it is because they're owned by Verizon, and they don't
Really?
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Yahoo bought them and then sold them to Verizon.
Yahoo.
Yeah, Yahoo bought Tumblr like a year or two ago, and now Tumblr is bought by Verizon.
Yeah, Yahoo was like, "No, get this shit away from us."
Yahoo stated when they first bought it, "We're going to do everything in our power to make sure that the fans stay happy." Then they sold it to
I mean,
Verizon.
I think it's like 50% of content on Tumblr is inappropriate, like NSFW.
Yeah, where are they going to go now?
Well, there's always Pornhub, and there's
I'm not opposed to Pornhub.
Newgrounds.
Like, personally, I prefer, like, I don't want to watch a whole like story. You know, I just want to.
Oh, you don't have to. They have art sections. They have blog sections. They have all of that.
Newgrounds?
I don't get on there, so.
No, Pornhub.
Yeah, Newgrounds.
I want to talk
but
about
Newgrounds also.
Newgrounds
being relevant again for the first time in 17 years.
Newgrounds was the best. That's the first video-based site that I went on.
I still have it in my bookmarks. It's like in my little bookmark tab. Newgrounds is still one of those.
Oh. Newgrounds is so old, I wouldn't have been surprised if by bookmarks you meant like I have a little metal lunchbox that I keep my bookmarks inside of.
A lot of Newgrounds. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Mike?
Who go ahead? No, I was just laughing.
Okay. A lot of Newgrounds has not aged well. It's just absolutely god-awful. But I do think that the Tankmen series, has aged actually particularly well. I love Tankmen.
Tankmen aged well. I think Castle Crashers aged well. Alien Hominid for the GameCube, yeah. I don't think that aged very well.
You know what aged really well?
What?
My grandpa's dick. Wait. Egoraptor did not age super well. He's Game Grumps, though.
Yeah, that's why he aged well. He evolved with the internet, and that's what it takes to survive on the internet.
Yeah.
You gotta fight.
Not even his final form.
It's not his final form yet. His final form is when they figure out what happened in June of 2014.
What happened in June of 2014? Oh, shit.
I signed a non-disclosure agreement.
I think John hit Susie. No, Susie hit John.
I pulled a date out of my ass. Is that actually when that happened?
No, I don't think it is. Hang on.
Because I think that was 2013.
Wait, what happened?
We're not going to talk about that.
Okay.
Why? If we'll get all the views. We just turn into a Game Grumps conspiracy fucking blog.
Yeah, sure, why not? Here's a fun fact about Newgrounds.
Oh, shit, you were 1 year off. It was June of 2013.
I said 2013.
I thought you said 2014.
It's the second time I said it happened in 2013. Newgrounds, Clay World was the very first Newgrounds full feature that released direct to DVD. Do you guys remember that? Clay World Off the Table?
I do remember Clay World. Holy shit. I didn't know it released on DVD.
Yeah. Anyway. God, Newgrounds had such weird things.
Newgrounds still has weird things. I'm on it right now, and I can already tell where the Tumblr people came from.
They're already invading?
Yeah.
Cool. Did you guys get all of your Christmas shopping done?
Christmas shopping. I'm moving, Brian. I can't Christmas shop for at least 2 months.
I don't know how to tell you this, but time is linear and Christmas happens less than 2 months from now.
I don't think that's the thing. I think Christmas happens. Christmas is a feeling, and whenever I feel it...
It's in your heart.
I hate Christmas.
Yeah, this is actually some really good art. I'm so glad that Tumblr is shutting itself down.
It's a good thing. It's a blessing in disguise.
It's like me when I'm like at the hospital and my grandmother is dying, and I'm like, yeah, but I mean, the Jello tastes so good here, so I'm kind of glad this happened.
Same.
Jesus.
So, can we talk about hospital stuff right quick?
Okay.
My grandfather had his leg amputated last week.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What happened?
Diabetes.
Is the leg okay?
No, they burned it.
They burned it?
Yeah.
It's a waste of leg.
It was nothing but dead tissue. You wouldn't want to eat it anyway.
You don't know my fucking life.
Oh, right. You're the one that wanted to bite zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he okay? Is he doing okay?
He's still recovering. They got him doped up pretty well. They're still letting the thing heal up, and then they're gonna stitch it, let the stitches heal, and then they're gonna give him a prosthetic. It's gonna be about a 2-month long process.
Oh, I was
Jeez.
going to ask if he was going to be a wheelchair guy or a metal leg guy.
Well, he's probably gonna be a wheelchair guy, but they're at least gonna give him the leg.
Give him the option. That's nice.
Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, guys.
Swing a leg around. Go up to your grandchildren and you're like, you know, I could do a cool thing. And he like takes his leg off and inside is hard candies.
He's already threatening to take it off and beat my uncle with it if he doesn't behave.
What's your uncle doing?
Oh, he's just an ass.
Oh.
The one that I've met?
Yeah.
He's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, they're okay.
Is he the one who cut the leg off?
Yes.
Sweet.
Hey.
Hey.
Sorry I can't segue into this properly, but you know what we didn't talk about on our first side?
What?
Croatians not letting Bosnians through clever gerrymandering to the ocean.
Yeah, you know, the Bosnians, they want to swim, and Croatia is just like, no.
No.
They wanted all the oceanfront property.
They wanted all the oceanfront property. Yeah.
It's more valuable.
Yeah.
But that means that you can get a house for cheaper in Bosnia than Croatia.
That is true.
Mike,
but you can't get an oceanfront property in Bosnia.
That's true. You have to
but
lease it.
You can buy property right there on the edge of the border, and then you just be like, I have a passport. I'm going to the beach, and it's still only a 10-minute drive.
If you're on the border between Croatia and Bosnia and you buy a chair, can you keep most of it on one side of in one nation because you're only going to use the edge?
Only with a visa.
Under 50%.
Or 50%
of the chair.
Okay.
Yeah, Anderson.
But you can keep the chair there, but then lean really far to one side of it.
Yep.
As long as you're not touching the ground.
You could swim from Bosnia to Croatia if you try really hard and dig like a trench. Mike, is your grandfather going to be a pirate?
I don't know. I'll ask him next time I see him.
Pirates are pretty cool because they get to be on boats.
He's been on a boat. He likes being on boats.
Do you know who else is on boats?
Pirates?
Yes. Besides pirates.
No, who?
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yay.
Kat likes Vikings.
I do.
Tell us all about them.
Well, I don't know where to start. It's the whole culture of people. Well, I guess I'll mention that I do Viking living history, and it's one of my favorite hobbies. You know, I've been in this group, Sons of Loki, for about 4 years now, and we kind of do it's not necessarily reenacting, because reenacting insinuates we reenact a battle every time, but we just kind of show the public how they lived, how they ate, what they did in their spare time. And a lot of people think that the Vikings, they were just these mindless brutes who just went and raided all the time, but really they were just farmers in their daily life. And once the cold season hit, that's when they started raiding and all that stuff. Because the term Viking itself it's not, it's not a race of people. It's an occupation. So it's kind of like saying all Americans are Marines. Like, it's just not true. But I mean, I think that's all kinds of things about the Vikings. Anything y'all want to know in particular?
Okay. Viking ends in ing, which means that it's like a present tense verb. So I'm
It's a
wondering.
German.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what the
What?
past tense of Viking would be. That'd be Viked.
I
Yeah.
think so.
To Vike.
No, that would be the present tense, like descriptive.
Well, the word comes from the Scandinavian word Vikinger, which means pirate. So to go Viking meant to go pirating, to go raiding.
Oh.
Mhm.
So that's interesting. Mike, is your grandfather going to become a Viking?
No, he doesn't have it.
So, my question: do they have a custom where they kidnap people and put a bag over their head, and then they wake up in the back of a wagon,
Go on.
and they're on their way to their execution? Sorry, it's
Did they wake up and then the other guy in the wagon is like, you're finally awake. Todd Howard, you've
I'm gonna-
done it again.
you son of a bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, remember when I started playing Skyrim on my Alexa?
Alexa. Yes. That was like a week ago.
Well, yeah, but shut up.
Shut up. Okay,
We had
I'll shut up.
We had so much more energy last week. What happened, you guys?
I don't know. I'm very tired. I'm moving. Just
I
I
stopped
haven't had a
drinking.
solid day of winding down. Also, yeah, I'm not drinking either.
Yeah, we've all gone sober. Welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous Cast with your host Sad.
And your other host, boring.
And your other host, Noah.
Dead.
Dead. Noah, what's your favorite alcoholic story?
Favorite alcoholic story?
Did the Vikings drink?
Yeah, they had a
Mead.
honey wine called a mead.
Yeah.
It was usually made with pretty much it was literally just honey, and it just kind of like honey and water basically, and it just fermented. And sometimes they put berries in it to flavor it, and
Meat is really good,
all
you
that
guys.
kind of stuff. It's really good. I mean, my friends make it all the time. Bring it to events, and we get wasted.
Yes, this is true. I've seen it happen. It's kind of hilarious.
I once had a friend that was obsessed with CrossFit, and he'd try to make his own mead, and it just tasted awful. And he'd drink it from a hollowed out horn, and it was awful. Just the way he presented it, I'm like, oh no, this is gross. Why would you do this?
Wow, that's great.
I will say mead can be an acquired taste. The first time I ever had it, it wasn't great.
hmm
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends on like who brewed it, who I mean, you can buy it. You can buy Viking's blood. You can buy. I mean, they have a whole Viking's blood.
Wait! I can drink blood?
Yes. No, it's a
the
line
brand.
Actually, I think the brand is something else. The flavor is Viking's blood, but the whatever brand it is has like a whole like line of different flavors, and you can Monk's Mead exists. That's another brand.
You guys know I'm a cannibal. You can't just say, yeah, there's Viking's blood that you can buy and expect me not to think, oh, cool, I can drink the blood of a Viking.
Yeah.
Brian, you're neat.
You're
You're a
neat.
cannibal.
Dude, don't worry about it. It's only illegal in Idaho.
Technically, that's true. Cannibalism is only illegal in Idaho.
Idaho is the only state in the United States where cannibalism is illegal, and if you are caught doing it in Idaho, you could be arrested and jailed for up to 14 years.
So
Right?
for the other states, it's just what you have to do in order to get the human meat that's illegal. It's not actually eating the human meat that's illegal.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
This was given to me. It's
It was a
from friend.
gift. You can't tax it, IRS man.
You have to be very careful how you do it too, because otherwise it could very easily be constituted as, quote, desecration of human remains, end quote.
Yeah, you have to only
Eat it raw.
slather. You have to slather it in sweet baby rays. None of that bullseye bullshit.
You have to-
Exactly.
You have to have the permission of the person. You can't trick anyone else into eating it. There's
Baby back ribs can be no older than 18 months.
Then they're toddler back ribs, and that's just unappetizing.
Those are illegal in many more states. Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
There's a lovely article you can find online where this guy had his leg amputated, and I think Mike was actually referencing this earlier. He had his leg
Made tacos out of it.
Yeah, they made tacos out of it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Leg tacos.
Heard that.
I heard they give you the runs.
Yeah.
That was a
Do you want
Long-
some more Viking facts?
More
Yes,
Viking
please.
facts. Were the Vikings ever cannibals?
More Viking facts. I don't know.
A Viking thing you don't know?
I mean, I know. I don't know everything. I'm not a huge wealth of knowledge. I know the basics. I don't think they ate people, but I wouldn't put it past them. But
Oh, wow.
a lot of people think that they were like barbarians and everything, but really they weren't like unhygienic. They bathed. I think it's like once a week, which is much more than their European counterparts, which bathed like
Yeah.
once every like 2 or 3 months. They combed their hair, they took care of their fingernails, they
They put it
tweezed,
in
and
very nice braids and man buns.
they cleaned it, or they cleaned their ears all the time. Like a lot of tools that you'll see that people have found are what are called ear spoons, and they were basically just like metal Q-tips, and they cleaned themselves, and yeah, they were super stylish. They loved their bright colors. They played games. They made little toys for their kids, like little play swords and all that stuff. And they're pretty cool people.
Weren't they the first Europeans to land in the Americas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you know the
Over in
name
Europe.
of the one who is like most often?
Eric the Red.
Huh?
Are you talking about Leif Erikson?
Isn't Leif Erikson from the 70s?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was Leif Erikson.
I thought it was-
Dinga
okay.
Durgan.
The only thing I know about Leif Erikson is that one episode of SpongeBob that had him in it.
Yep.
Mike's typing.
But another fun fact while Mike's typing is a lot of people think that every single Viking had a sword, but the cost to make a sword, because if you think about it, like back then metal was super rare, like to find like ore and iron and all that jazz. So a lot of the tools that they had were things like axes and spears, because one, they took a lot less metal to make, and two, they were items that they could use on a farm. So when they went raiding and stuff, they just brought their axes and spears and little knives and stuff like that. But with the sword, it takes so much metal to make that a lot of times they would just pass the sword down from father to son. Or when a father passed away, he would inherit the sword. But a lot of times the sword would be buried with the father when he passes away. But if a sword was needed for, like, you had to have a sword for a wedding, you had to, like, I forget why, but usually had to have a sword for a wedding. Or if you had to go off to war, you had to go dig up your dad or your grandfather or whoever, take their sword. because they were so expensive to make, and
Who's slurping?
I
That
got
would have been Brian.
and
I got hungry. Okay.
but the cost of a sword back then is equivalent to owning like a Ferrari or a Porsche today. So and they would often like reuse metal. Like for the shields, they were primarily wooden, and the middle part called the boss, that little dome part that comes out. Say your shield was like damaged during battle, they would scrap all the wood and just reuse the boss, because it was just cheaper. So
Yeah,
Makes
Okay.
no, that
sense.
makes sense.
Leif Erikson was a Norse explorer from Iceland. He was the first known European to have set foot in continental North America.
Yes. I looked at that. It turns out he was the son of Eric the Red, who was the first Viking to go to Greenland and set up a settlement there. So I mixed it up. Leif Erikson was the first one. And to further mix things up, the actor from the 70s that I was thinking of was a child actor from the 70s named Leif Garrett. So I completely
Did you say
messed
Lou
that one
Gehrig?
up. No, not Lou Gehrig. Leif Garrett. He's a child actor from the 70s. I don't really know what he was in, but I just know that my parents knew him many years ago. Like
In
over
person?
a decade ago. No, not knew him in person. They just knew of him. He was on like some sort of
Oh,
Who
okay.
Wants to Be a Millionaire Celebrity Edition or some shit like that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Cool.
But yeah, the Erics were they were pretty monumental explorers. That's pretty cool.
mhm.
Go
Until they
Vikings.
took it away from me.
Yeah, go Vikings. Vikings are cool.
Yeah.
Well, no, I meant the Minnesota Vikings. They're
Oh.
gunning this year.
Are
Is
they?
your grandfather
No, I
going
don't
to become a
know.
Minnesota Viking?
Well, considering he hates the cold and he will never leave Georgia, probably not.
So what else do we have to talk about?
I think that might be it.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that very historical and educational episode.
It's
Well,
it's low energy, but it's very educational. We learned a
it's
lot.
mellow. It's not low energy. It's mellow.
It's good for the kids.
We learned a lot about ourselves. We learned about each other. We learned about Vikings.
Mhm.
It's good for the kids.
Yep.
What's
Before
good for the
you-
kids?
Before you pick them up,
Mhm.
put them in that tree.
Yep.
And just walk away.
With one leg.
Oh, are you saying that your grandpa did that?
I'm not saying he's put me in a tree before, but I'm also not saying that.
My grandfather fought in World War II, and while overseas in Germany, actually did get into a life and death situation where he had to eat someone.
Wow.
Hey,
Hmm.
Brian.
Yeah?
Aren't you related to the Donner Party?
I am also related on my mom's side to the Donner Party. But that guy that I'm related to in the Donner Party did not actually engage in cannibalism.
Good for him.
Yeah. He was like a doctor on board, and so he wasn't actually one of the Donners. The Donners decided that they were going to kill and eat the native guides that they had, and my relative woke up early, woke up the native guides, and told them that they had to leave as soon as possible or they would be eaten. The Donners'
That was
idea,
good.
yeah, the Donners wanted to eat the Native American guides because, and this is a quote from my relative's journal, the Native Americans or the Indians are not human, so it's okay to eat them. And my relative disagreed with this, which makes him a dirty SJW.
I
And
think
look
he
what
was a
you've
good.
become.
I think that was a good SJW.
Yeah,
Like,
he saved
I
their
think,
lives.
I think if he saw who you are now, he'd be very disappointed.
Cool. Yeah, he saved their lives. The Donners were very upset with him, but he was.
Now we're just gonna eat you.
No, he survived the Donner Party.
good.
In fact, the only people in the Donner Party who actually engaged in the act of cannibalism were all children. All of the adults knew that it was morally reprehensible, but also knew that the children had to be nourished by something in order to survive. The kids...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've done a lot
This is
of
Brian
research
we're
on
talking
this.
about. Yeah, if anyone in this group knows anything about cannibalism, it's our Bry guy.
The children started having a dark sense of humor about it too, and a lot of the different journals, the people were afraid of the children, because as the children would start making jokes like, tomorrow night I'm going to eat you.
Oh.
When they did get the rescues and get help out of the snow-covered wagons, they sent the kids first, because A, it was easier to get the kids out of the wagon, and B, it meant that the people didn't have to have so much fear. So
That's actually terrifying. Kids suck, man.
They
that's
really
why
do.
I think you should take a kid, pick them up, put them in a tree.
It's really for self-preservation, just so you won't get eaten.
Yeah.
Let them commune with nature.
With
And-
small children, it's really an eat or be eaten situation.
And on that note, we will see you guys next time.
This has been another episode of the Tidepool Orchestra. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss the next episode, where you can also look forward to some fun bonus content. If you can't get enough of us, you can also follow us on Twitter at TidepoolO and like our Facebook page to keep up to date. For any questions, ideas, or business inquiries, feel free to email us at tidepoolorchestra@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and see you next time.
Thank you for listening to the calming sounds of the Tidepool Orchestra.